in terms of challenges bringing healthcare online, as Paul said, it's super, super hard. It's cost prohibitive. It's operationally enormously challenging to lift an online clinic. It's really, really hard. State licensing. You need a doctor or a nurse or a therapist licensed in the state where the patient is located. The typical, let's say, primary care doctor on Main Street here might be licensed in one state, maybe two states. Well, now you need 20, 30, 40, 50 of those to be available at any moment in time if you want to service patients in all 50 states and DC. That's really hard to pull off for an early stage company. Sometimes you can find a doctor who might be licensed in 10 or 15 states. Those are increasing in numbers. So for SteadyMD, for example, what we did, I'm sure what Paul did at Lemonade in the early days, was we created them, right? We paid to get them licensed in additional states. As Paul said, the license application forms are highly variable from state to state. Some states, you might be able to apply for a license and get it within 3 months. Some states like Massachusetts might take you, well over a year. And so, the challenge, we still have this kind of legal regulatory challenge, which is not getting that easier. And that's a shame. I'd love to see it get a lot easier. I don't know if there's lobbying that can be done kind of by the industry at large, but it is unbelievably stifling to innovation. And so companies like us are trying to abstract that complexity by doing our own work around recruiting, hiring, training clinicians, getting them licensed in a whole bunch of additional states, making sure we have this right kind of crazy Venn diagram of coverage across all 50 states and then assigned to the various telehealth programs that we are supporting. But that is a giant challenge, state licensing. The state-by-state telehealth laws are also such a challenge. Again, there are some states where you can do async visits, some states where you can do async with some modification, and then, all 50 states allow you to do video visits. And then there's this kind of crazy spectrum in between. How do you deal with this as an early stage company or even as a large company? Some of our Fortune 100 customers are absolutely leaning on us exclusively to figure this out. So we have in-house counsel, we have outside counsel that's comprised of, the top transactional, telehealth law firms. And then we're like triangulating this between inside, outside, and then even the general counsel at our customers. And again, sometimes these are like Fortune 100 or Fortune 10 customers. They really know their business, but they don't really know these telehealth laws particularly well. So those I see as the biggest challenges. The state licensing is kind of a really big one, and then kind of state by state telehealth laws. I think those can generally be abstracted by working with a vendor like SteadyMD. But then you have the flip side challenge of ensuring that the clinicians who are providing care on your program actually know your brand, understand what you guys do, understand the care coordination that's unique to your brand, or the assets that you might have in person or online that relate to your brand. We're seeing a lot of these provider groups provide like very generic care, do it very transactionally, where all the inputs are the same and all the outputs are the same, regardless of the customer program. And what we're finding is our customers don't want that. Our customers want telehealth programs that are substantially more bespoke and much more kind of custom developed for their needs. And so I think all of these things create, tremendous challenges to kind of getting up and running. Again, vendors like us and Lock and others can be, highly supportive, kind of helping you navigate all this and figure this out, but it shouldn't be this hard. And there has to be a future state where it's a lot easier. I think, for example, Paul, if somehow we could wave a magic wand and there was a state licensing compact that would enable, a clinician to get licensed in all 50 states, and be available to patients in all 50 states, it would massively accelerate innovation in the industry.
Yeah.